Hey guys, today, we are I am going to be ranking all of the Transformers shows that have come out, and I'm gonna split it up into four pieces. So there are 28 shows that I'm gonna be looking at. So, I'm gonna look at all of them. I'm gonna tell you my ranking on them. I'm going to go through them, do a brief summary overview of them, and some of them I'm going to do full videos on because I want to straight up review them, because there's some that are worth doing a full video on. I personally think there's just enough content. Well, there's enough to talk about. And I want to be able to get through all of them without having to make more parts to this this series, the four series of videos. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do 4 parts, and then I will come back to a show, whichever show that I have in mind, and then I'll do a full review on, because some of them deserve a full video, not just this small little segment of me ranking them and talking about the overview, what I thought, and why they rank in that spot. So, we're gonna go through 7, and, since I don't know how to edit, I don't have a visual title page of the show, or like a poster of the show, so I'm gonna use a representation of a toy from that show that corresponds with the line that it's in. So, like if Transformers Cybertron's up, I'm gonna put, Cybertron Optimus up there. And for these first couple of shows, Albino Prime will be sitting here because I don't have toy representations here, or have them. So, have any. So, that's really all I need to talk about, and let's just get into the list. So, number 28 is Generation 2. So, I didn't know that Generation 2 had a cartoon. All I knew was Generation 2 was a comic, but I found, before I continue on, I did not come up with this idea myself. I got this idea from Paper Plane on YouTube. He has done it, and I merely thought it would be fun, so I did it. So this is not my idea, and so that's really it. This is my idea. I merely just like the idea of what he did, so I am doing it myself. But Generation 2, that's where I found out that Generation 2 was a show. It's basically just G1 reruns, just with different more, it's like a CGI transition. Like instead of the insignia flip. So really there was no point to making the show. There were probably already G1 reruns going on, so I just, number one, it's pointless. You're introducing more characters like Laser Rod Optimus Prime. Oh, I could have used him. Duh. Whoops. You could have used Laser Rod. Like, you see the G1 Prime and the Generation 2 show, and then you see Laser Rod Prime as a toy, and you're like, who's this guy? He looks completely different from the guy in this cartoon, and even the guy, and, I don't know. Generation 2 was pretty pointless, kind of unnecessary, and, I don't know. So, that's really it. I'm just going to move on, and obviously I don't have a Generation 2 toy, so he's going to be standing here. So, next, number 27 is Transformers Go. That's, Transformers Go is basically and I don't have a Transformers Go toy, but Transformers Go was basically Japan's version of Transformers Prime, or at least that was their toy line's name. They made a show with it. The show is eight. It's eight episodes. Episodes aren't very long; they're like 10 minutes, so easy to watch. But it's very, very, very boring. It's not fun to watch. The characters can't get invested in. They reuse a lot of stuff. Like the whole ending gets reused twice, which is stupid. A lot of scenes get reused. The plot is just pointless, and I'm fine with having animation be reused. Some people don't like. Some companies don't have the budget to make new scenes or even movies. In that fact, and they have millions of dollars working on not even a show. It's a movie, but like it was very, very redundant. Like 8 episodes for 10 minutes. How much money could you not have to be able to make or change up the style of the animation? Just it was very, very boring. It really sucks. Just I don't know about any of the toys. Just that's why it ranks so low. It was just so boring. It sucked. And maybe if it was longer, like maybe it could have meant something. Like the ending, it was pointless, didn't make sense, and it was boring. It just felt like it was dragging on and it meant nothing. It really sucked. I completely forgot. I do have an number 26 is RID 2015. I do have one, but I just forgot to get one. I completely forgot about that. But RID 2015, I remember it coming out. I was super excited to watch it on Netflix, and it was very disappointing. The toys, I can understand. Like, there are a lot of one-step changers, very kid-oriented toy line, but the show was just really crappy. For being like a successor to Transformers Prime, it was just very, very dumb. Like, a lot of the ideas were there, like a prisoner ship and hunting Decepticons down, sort of like the toy line Hunt the Decepticons. But it was just the execution was just very, very poor in my personal opinion, and I remember being very disappointed that I was very excited for it to come out back in 2015, and I was like, this is like kind of dumb. It's not cool. It's not fun. Like, yeah, some of the designs are cool. The designs are cool. The artwork is cool, but the plot, the characters, I don't know, everything is just like blah. Like it is boring. It's stupid. It's cringy. And I don't know about anyone that's watching this, but when I watch a show or a movie, there's one thing that could probably ruin it. Like make me completely turn, like one piece of it could make me turn the entire thing off, and that's dialogue. If there's something cringy or something stupid in the dialogue that a character says, I just can't handle it. I like some of the shows on this list that had cringy dialogue, I just had to sit through because I had to complete it. But if I wanted to, I would have just quit watching the show because I just don't like stupid, cringy dialogue. It just makes me uncomfortable, and it makes me mad. Is that, like, of all things, how hard is it to make it like easy to talk to, especially when you're talking to something fictional in a fictional world? I don't understand, but it's just a culmination of that. So next, Combiner Wars. I do have Combiner Wars toys, just not here. It's in my where my other part, the other part of my collection is. But Combiner Wars, if you've heard of it, you understand. Poor storytelling, poor voice acting, poor animation, poor everything. That's really it. If you've seen it, you probably understand why it's so low. Power of the Primes, same thing. Just Power of the Primes, that's Power of the Primes, it's 24. It's the same thing. Just same all around the board. Same as Combiner Wars. Machinima, they didn't learn anything from Combiner Wars or Titans Return for Power of the Primes. They just made the exact same thing. Just it's slightly more enjoyable, because there's a bit more of a semblance of a plot. a little. And 22, 23, move him because I actually have a character or toy. It's not Slammer. Slammer's a really good toy if you see my review, but I'll just tell you that he's a good toy. But, Kingdom. I watched Kingdom. I watched Kingdom. I was like, okay, this is like kind of dumb. This is really dumb. They just had to cram. Oh, sorry. They just had to cram in so much at the very end. There was just so much stupid stuff going on, and like the voice acting for like Beast Wars Megatron, horrendous. A lot of the voice acting for some of the Maximals and Predacons, it was pretty trash. Really, pretty subpar to bad in my personal opinion. Really, the only good one was Dinobot, which didn't have his original voice actor, but whatever. Still really liked him in the show. He was really the only highlight that I liked in the show. He still went out in the same bombastic way, fighting both Megatrons in Kingdom as he did in the original Beast Wars cartoon. So, Beast Wars show. So I really enjoyed that. But other than that, it was just super, super dumb. And the cliffhanger ending, like, I was like, is that it? You spent like a year on this and you can't even like at least like wrap it up? How are you going to tie it in with Legacy? You know, like with Unicron, that didn't make any sense. Like Unicron, Galvatron, Nemesis Prime, that didn't make any sense to me. They just had to wrap up so much stuff with 6 episodes, and I could tell they weren't even trying too hard, or at least, and if they were trying really hard, you could tell that the corporate machine was hovering right over their shoulder, making sure that they had no creative freedom. I don't know, just didn't make too much sense to me. I just wasn't a fan, didn't like it too much. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, this is all my opinion, so your opinion, you think Kingdom is the greatest show ever. That's fine by me. Just this is my personal opinion for all of these. But so yeah, that's it. So number 22, which is the last one here, last one that I'm going to be going over today. It's Titans Return. I have Slug Slinger. He's missing his head and he's a little broken. But Titans Return. Same thing. It was really dumb. There are like no headmasters in it, so it was already kind of redundant. The way Fortress Maximus, Metroplex, and Trypticon like fought each other, it was just super boring. Like, you know, like Pacific Rim. Like if you've seen Pacific Rim, you know that if there are titans, two giant, like a robot, another robot, or like a robot and a animal, like a kaiju or a big monster fighting each other, it should be bombastic and huge and epic. Like even the like old Godzilla movies, they're like that. Obviously, it's two dudes in a costume just hitting each other and spraying flames at each other, but still, it's way cooler than just what Titans Return was doing. The only like good thing that I truly somewhat liked is Overlord, because you know it's Overlord and he's cool. But other than that, the show was just boring. Show was just boring. Takes the exact same things from Combiner Wars and Power of the Primes, and it's like same thing. Still trash. Still crappy. At least it had a couple cool concepts like the Fallen and stuff, so that's why it ranks the highest of them all. And at least that's really it. Just like Overlord, the Fallen, Rodimus Unicronus. I think he's in it. I can't remember, but at least Overlord, the Fallen, and some. That's really it. That's really the only thing that made it the highest of all of them. But it's still very, very crappy. So yeah, I just didn't really enjoy it. But that concludes our first 7. So, yeah, 7 down, 21 more to go. And just to tell you, none of these shows are going to get a full video. They don't even deserve that for how much effort was put into them. They're not worth it. I don't care. They're really bad. They don't. If the writers, editors, animators didn't give enough, didn't put enough on the table to make it a good show, then I'm not going to try to find enough to make a video over them. But those are the first 7, the 7 worst. We still got some really bad ones to go in the next installment of this small 4-part series. So see you next time.